The grass is always greener. Or is it? Right. How I like to romanticize a new day job. Mundanity is my happy place. I've eaten the same exact lunch for 5 years now. Crockpot chicken and rice, infused with verde salsa and some non-fat Greek yogurt to boot. I eat this lunch at the same day job I've had for the past 15 years, teaching 14-year-old kids how to balance chemical equations and not act like total dicks to each other. After work, I come home to my wife of 15 years, where we eat the same weekly rotation of dinners, go to bed at roughly the same time each night to get our 8 hours in, wake up at the same early morning hour, and do it all again. Does that sound like your worst nightmare? Well, it's not mine. Really, it isn't. I like consistency. I need it in order to function, to get stuff done, but mostly to help quell my deepest fear, that I'm a person not worthy of respect. I haven't always lived my life with this much efficiency, but I do now. This same adult that used to spend 3 hours after work researching NBA apparel, but never actually buying it, is now spending that time scrubbing the toilet and raking leaves. It's a good life I have. My job pays me enough to live the life I want to live without completely burning me out. I have a lovely house, my wife is hot, we have a healthy, beautiful baby boy, and I can crawl on the floor with him without wincing in pain. I'm lucky, and that's not lost on me. However, I can't help but romanticize a change. Something to spice up the sameness that I've created for myself. No, I do not want a new family, but I could be talked into a new career. I mean, I have my DiLisio music moniker, and that's fun, gratifying, therapeutic, and fun. But music has never paid the bills, and it feels irresponsible to bank on that ever-changing at this point. So a new day job it is. I write this now on a lazy Sunday afternoon, when sitting on my butt watching football doesn't quite feel like the dream at the moment. I'm on Indeed.com, attempting to achieve a goal that I've had since my last chicken and rice lunch. And just like that robotic routine I've developed for myself, I now prepare to form a brand new habit, endlessly researching jobs online that look like they could satiate my need for change, but that I know deep down wouldn't take me to any better place than I am in right now. A place surrounded by my lovely wife, my motor and infant son, my quiet, spacious house in the suburbs that we can actually afford. My mundane, happy life. So how long will I research new jobs before quitting? Again? Who knows? Maybe until the day I quit chicken and rice for good. My goal for 2025? To set less goals. How I've realized my values are more important to me than my achievements. For a half-decade now, I've been more goal-oriented than any other time in my life. I've hustled as hard as I could to make a career in music out of absolutely nothing. Sure, I have talent, but that's about all I've had to work with. I wrote, I recorded, I promoted, I social media'd, I checked my Spotify for artist stats religiously, nay, obsessively. And it's been draining. Gratifying sometimes, yes. That one time when a random fan from Detroit that bears my same stage name reached out and said he and his son dig my music, that was and is very cool. Those several times when concertgoers approached me after some of my shows and said they liked my voice, that sticks with me. But other than that, I'm tired. I'm burned out from running Instagram ads and coming up with clever TikToks. And honestly, I've never been happier. See, my son was born a year ago, and he's taught me that I don't have to prove anything to anybody, except myself. That if I rely on others to give me the respect I'm craving, that it'll never be enough. That if I decide to devote my life to the arts, which has made me absolutely no money at this point in my late 30s, I would probably become a very depressed person. That even if I did gain the success I think I want, I can't imagine a scenario in which I didn't disregard the needs of my family in one form or another. And if so, then I would have failed. I'd fail them and I'd fail me. Sure, I still have music, quote-unquote, goals next year. I still want to release new music. I still want to play shows when I can. I still want to write new songs. I still want to keep this podcast going. Yet it feels way more freeing to make those things less measurable than saying, oh, I want to increase my monthly Spotify listeners to a consistent 1,000 per month, or I want to sell all of my new vinyl records. What if instead of setting goals, I just simply do what makes me happy? That sounds way more fun anyways. Besides, there are many other quote-unquote goals I have in the new year, all nothing to do with music. I mean, a record deal will be nice, but not at the expense of taking my wife and son to Italy for 2 weeks. A big break would obviously be rad, but not at the expense of paying down the mortgage of our beautiful new house in the suburbs. I'd like a bigger stream count. I'd also like to buy a new pickup truck. I guess what I'm saying is that the rockstar life and the quiet family life feel mutually exclusive. Am I wrong? I hope I am, but I'm confident I'm not. And you know what? That's okay. At least today it's okay. We'll see about tomorrow. But until tomorrow, I might as well forget goals and instead make sure my values are still in the right place. Artistic expression? Check. My music, and now this podcast, and my Substack fills that need. Sincere conversation? That's me and my wife's specialty, and she's the best person on the planet, so there's that. Financial stability? I got my day job, and so does she, and I always underrate that aspect of my life. My health? Well, I walk, I work out occasionally, and try not to eat like a total asshole, so I'll take it. And lastly, my home life? Well, that's my favorite value of all, because with my wife and son, I can't imagine it being more beautiful. So here's to a new year, full of less of a need for accomplishment and more of a need for happiness.
The DiLisio Likes Things podcast, starring Mark Jeffries as DiLisio and Peggy as herself. Today's episode was written, directed, produced, recorded, and edited by Mark Jeffries, including all original music by DiLisio. Follow DiLisio on Spotify, Instagram, and Facebook to keep up with all of his latest music. And please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the DiLisio Likes Things podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.